Slap my ass and call me Barry. It looks like you've fallen yourself onto a sweet little remix of Soulwax. Clarence Baker here and the rest of the gang, and we're all half naked, 3 sheets to the wind. So, why don't you get yourself into something real comfy, grease it right up nice, turn it up loud, and go out and beat up the neighbors. 'Cause here it is, all yours, you paid for it. Warmduscher, Midnight Dipper, as told by Soulwax. Yeah!
Here he comes in a 4-wheel drive, been up all night, he's ready to die. And there she goes in a skin-tight suit, just ran away from home and got nothing to do. So he pulled her gas, she jumped in quick, loaded up a pipe and they both took a hit, yeah. Go back, eyes closed tight, real peace tonight, yeah. With a finger on his thumb. To the middle, low on gas, all out of money, and coming down fast, no. And he can't think straight with her bouncing on his lap, no hands on the wheel, fingernails in his back, yeah. But it feels so good that he don't want to stop, so he closes his eyes, watches her come, no. Then pull back, eyes closed tight, it's real peace tonight. Then pull back, eyes closed tight, it's real peace tonight. With a finger on the trigger. He's walking through the midnight door with a pocket full of grease and a finger on his zipper. She's right with a midnight door with a pocket full of grease and a finger on his zipper. He's walking through the midnight door with a pocket full of grease and a finger on a trigger. She's right for the midnight door with a pocket full of grease and a finger on his trigger.
Hello, good morning, welcome, good evening, happy summertime from a slightly damp London, SW15. You're listening to Whoosh. That was the fabulous Warmduscher with Midnight Dipper. That's a Soulwax remix that you just listened to. And we have in the studio Katy Krassner.
Woo!
Hey!
You know, it's rainy in New York today, so we're sharing some weather. I really like that track. I didn't know how to pronounce Warmduscher, so thank you so much for that. But did you know that on their last album, both Iggy Pop and Kool Keith did features?
I had no idea.
Nor I.
No idea whatsoever.
Me either. So good for Warmduscher. I really, I love the song, and it was a weird and wild video because you know how I like to go watch those videos.
Tell us about the video, Katy.
It was just weird and wild. I couldn't even explain it to you, but it was weird. Really okay. Weird.
That's what we need to know then.
And it was
weird and wonderful. I've got some great news, and that is that we have a special guest in the studio with us today. And she's sitting right next to me, and here she is. Let's hear it for Tallulah LeBun.
I am personally so excited that Tallulah is back. Welcome, Tallulah.
Thank you.
So before we get super started, I decided to do what I did when your sister Amber guest starred a week or two ago. I guested. Thank you. I looked through the tracks, and you too. I hope you have a list in front of you. And I guessed how many Tallulah picked.
Who chose Warmduscher?
What's that?
Who picked Warmduscher?
Her.
Wrong.
Well, wait, hold on a minute there, though, because...
No, I chose it and you liked it.
Yeah.
Okay? All right,
so out of the 10 tracks, and that includes the bonus, I think Tallulah picked 7 of the 10.
Cool. Okay, well, let's hear one of those 7. Would you like to introduce it, Tallulah?
I sure would. The next track is Don't Hustle for Love by the Apostles. I'm not actually sure whether it's... They sing Don't Hustle for Love, but it's spelled Don't Hustle.
Don't hustle for love. The Apostles.
For love, don't hustle for love, cause it's gonna come to you. Don't hustle for love, don't hustle for love, cause it's gonna come to you. So you better wait. When it comes to you, so rather take a look and make a better choice. Have a good time and let yourself go. Better think of life and have a cool head. Don't hustle for love. Don't hustle for love, cause it's gonna come to you. Don't hustle for love. Don't hustle for love. Cause it's gonna come to you. I thought I'd make a mind. I never knew. It's not the kind of how. So I better wait. And natural love is in love that people talk about. That mess that keep waiting to get them for the love. So don't hustle for love. Don't hustle for love. Cause it's gonna come to you. Don't hustle for love. Don't hustle for love. Cause it's gonna come to you. So you better wait. Love is something down when it comes to you. So rather take a look and make a better choice. Have a due time and let yourself go. Better think of life and have a cool head. I don't hustle for love. I don't hustle for love. I don't hustle for love. But it's a natural thing. I don't hustle for love.
Okay, that was the Apostles with Don't Hustle for Love. And by the way, don't hustle for love. Who chose that one then, Katy?
Well, I had it down as, if you want to look at my sheet, I had it down as a T for Tallulah.
Yeah.
Well done. Yes. you
Winner.
Winner chicken dinner. I didn't know much about the Apostles. I know they're a renowned Nigerian funk soul group from the city of Aba, which was the epicenter of music during the 70s and 80s. But where does a nice young girl like you find the Apostles, Tallulah?
Do you know what? I'm not sure. I kind of know as much as you do on that. In terms of they're just an East Nigerian band who came to prominence in the 60s and 70s, but I just found them on Spotify, I think.
And
I think it is one of the wonders, one of the great things about our new modern music delivery system is that you can find stuff on it that you've never listened to before, rather than have your best mate's brother say, "Here, you've got to listen to this," you know. And I think it's a wonderful thing to take full advantage on. I've got to say, most of my music choices come from things that I just go surfing. I go surfing on Spotify, or I go on Bandcamp, and I just see what comes up, and I listen to it, and 6 times, 7 times out of 10, I go, that's nice, but it's not what I want to play on WHOOOSH. But those other 3 times, I go, fantastic, we'll have that.
Yeah, it really opens up a whole other world. Of music. I think it's just like the internet does with anything. You kind of before were just, I suppose, limited to what was in your area, in your country, before someone brought it to you. But now with the internet, you can access anything from anywhere. That's such an amazing benefit.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's definitely worked for me.
Martin and Gary Kemp are doing a television show in the UK. So they mentioned Duran Duran, and I got a Google alert. And it struck me that I had no idea who Spandau Ballet was when I was a teenager. At all, because they never broke in America. Right. And today, with the internet, people would have heard them more. Like, I had no idea who they were till I got older. Yeah. And that is truly, you're right, Tallulah, the difference between what the internet has done for music. Because you can find anything from anywhere in the world, and nothing is just country specific anymore.
And I think also to a large extent, it's not age specific either.
No, definitely not.
Not color specific, not race specific, not gender specific. And I really think that that's a wonderful thing. It's really opened up music. It's made it much more democratic.
I agree. And so lucky we all are. That's the one ththing the whole world shares.
Talking about democracy, I want to just mention that my daughter Tallulah, she's we've had a lot of large social activism events happening in this country. They've happened pretty much every weekend with the Black Lives Matter, and Tallulah's been going to quite a few of these events, haven't you?
Yeah, well, I think it's everyone's responsibility. If you're standing by and seeing things happen that you don't agree with, but you're not doing anything about it, then how much better than the villain are you, really? You're not doing anything to change things unless you're actually making an effort to. So I think it's important that everyone does get involved in whatever way possible they can. Not everyone can go out and protest,
right?
But
because if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem, bruv.
It's true.
Let me ask you a question, Tallulah. Have you ever have you felt safe at the marches?
Oh my goodness, I felt so safe. I've never, I've actually been, the only march that I went to in London that right towards the end got a bit violent. I left before the violence started. I never saw any of the violence.
Okay,
and
good.
The news that they'll talk about how a protest ended violently, but there is so many protests going on that are all peaceful for so many people. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. I don't just feel safe there. I actually have an amazing time. You really do feel like you're changing things. You listen to some great speakers. You meet some amazing people, and it is kind of a community of people from all different walks of life in London who just believe in change.
I mean, I hate to sound like the old lady in the room, but it is people like you. It's youth. I can't go. I'm not great. I'm not taking my kids with me. It's people like you who are going to make the change. So thank you for it's a worldwide change. It's not just London. So thank you for doing that and for making your voice heard.
Well, it's we can all contribute in some way.
We can. But I think it's great that you just got out of the house and took made your voice heard. It's really awesome.
Thank you.
So,
I agree totally. I'm very proud of her, and I have a lot of respect for anybody who takes the time to go up and stand up and for what they believe in. It's the right thing to do. Shall we play some more music?
Well, I wanted to ask a question before.
Let's have a question.
Let's have a question, because this actually fits since Tallulah is sitting next to you. And Angie from Italy wanted to know if you have ever written a song for your daughters.
I have written a song. I mean, I've written songs that have had, that have been inspired by them, definitely. On the album Red Carpet Massacre, there's a song called She's Too Much. Right? She's gentle to the touch. Yeah. She's everything at first. That one.
Yeah, I know that one.
That really was inspired by Saffron. So on the album Paper Gods, there is a song entitled Butterfly Girl, and that has a lot to do with Amber, who was going through a very bad patch at one time, and I wanted to kind of write a song to get her out of the gloom. I haven't written my Tallulah song yet, but it will come.
Nothing about me.
No, because you know what? You're the steady Eddie. That's why. And the giggler, I can see. So our next track, I thought, was a Simon track. I'm not sure if I'm correct, but I'll introduce it. It's a band called Weyes Blood with Drugdealer. Who goes by the name Drugdealer? And it's actually, I thought this was funny. Weyes Blood is a producer called Michael Collins, and he has a couple of funny band names. He has a few bands. One is Run DMT, one is Salvia Plath, and then Silk Roads. What do you think of that one? Silk Roads.
Run DMT. You know what DMT is, don't you?
I don't.
It's a psychoactive ingredient in something the South American Indians drink called ayahuasca.
Oh, that
you know, nuclear ayahuasca. Well, DMT is the psychoactive substance in the same way that THC is the psychoactive substance in cannabis.
Oh, you know a lot.
One of them. And so Silk Road is the old name of the internet dark web. Well, you could pretty much get anything on Silk Web, couldn't you? Keep trying to close it down, but did you know? This is an interesting fact here.
Yeah.
That the dark web itself, which is enabled by something called the Tor Onion browser, is completely an invention of the US military.
Yes. Good. I knew this because I might be married to somebody who's fascinated by what one could get and do on the black web.
Ah, right, okay.
We don't discuss. Anyway, so I do know a bit about it. Anyway, so this next track is called Suddenly, and it's producer Michael Collins and Natalie Merring on lead vocals, and it's a cool jam.
Suddenly my mind is open, and I know you won't be sad. Tempted by the morning sun, and you feel like I'm home again.
let's go. We did our jobs, pick up speed, now let's move. The trees can't grow without the sun in their eyes. And we can't live if we're too afraid to die. Oh, hold on tight, you're too slow.
And that was Young Men Dead by the Black Angels.
Black Angels. Tell us about the Black Angels, Caddy. I love that song.
I love that song too.
I hadn't heard that before. I hadn't heard that before. Tallulah chose all of the tracks for this show.
We weren't talking about that.
Let's move on.
The Black Angels are an American psychedelic rock band from Austin, Texas. Formed in 2004, they took their name from the Velvet Underground track, The Black Angels Death Song. There you go. That's your bit of trivia for today.
I was getting quite a Doors vibe from that.
Oh, definitely the end of that.
Maybe it's because of his vocal style. He's definitely channeling Jim. That's for sure.
That is for sure.
Yeah.
I really liked that, Young Men Dead. I thought I didn't like I thought their name was I don't know. I didn't know what they were going to sound like. They did sound dark, but not as dark as I thought they'd sound. I don't know. I liked it.
Young Men Dead by the Black Angels.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be
dark band.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be super sad, but it was definitely psychedelic, and I don't know, something I like about that.
Yeah, I like it.
So I have a question for you. So it says, "Hi, Caddy. I am so loving the radio show. Can I ask Simon, given that he is enjoying audiobooks and he is a vocal person, if he could choose a book to narrate, what would it be and why?" And that is from Deborah, who says that the WHOOSH radio adds some light into the dark that is the pandemic.
Well, Deborah, it has been suggested before that I narrate an audiobook. And I chose the book Dark Matter by Michelle Pava. And the main reason I chose that is because it's such a short book.
How many pages?
It's less than 100 pages. It's fantastic. It is also a brilliant ghost story. I mean, it is so scary. I stayed up all night and read it. Well, I stayed up for a bit of the night and read it.
It's only 100 pages.
I stayed up for a bit of the night and read it, and it actually had me lying in my bed in a cold sweat with the hairs standing up on my arms and the back of my neck. It's that good.
Oh, I don't like being scared. Tallulah, what would you read? I think you should read a Roald Dahl book. You have Roald Dahl sort of all over you.
I do love a bit of Roald Dahl. I'd have to read something funny. I don't think I could read anything where I had to be serious. I think that would be just a little bit too much of a hard push. Maybe Roald Dahl. Have you read My Family and Other Animals?
No, is it good? Is it funny?
It's really funny. I think it's just that really weird kind of sarcastic English humour, which
okay. Do you remember the Adrian Mole books? Were you too young for those? Did you ever read Adrian Mole?
Never read them.
Oh, those were funny as heck. I think the author was Sue Townsend. Maybe I would read that one. I have another question for Simon. From Di Thompson says, can you please ask Simon which live show he has felt the most nervous about before going on stage and why? Was it because he would be performing in front of royalty, for example? Thanks, Di Thompson.
And I gotta say, Di, that it's very clear to me which show I was most nervous before. It was my first show with Duran Duran. I was absolutely cacking myself.
Oh.
It was terrifying, absolutely terrifying. Since then, I've learned to cope with nerves. I accept that I'm going to be nervous. I have a mantra which I learned from an actor. That mantra is, it's not fear, it's adrenaline. It's just your mind and your body preparing you to do something extraordinary, and you will do something extraordinary.
That's fabulous.
Yeah, that's a great coping mechanism.
So that's how I feel about that.
Go, dude. Wow, I'm gonna go back and
a little bit of I just thought right now, before we go into the next track, I should announce last week's bonus track.
Yeah.
So last week we played music by a whole lot of fabulous artists. The bonus track was, of course, played by Buzzard. It's just one of the songs off their latest album. It's called Double Denim Pop.
I got so many responses from people I know about Buzzard. Just
fantastic, aren't they?
And then the guy tweeted you from Buzzard. So they're
and I tweeted him back.
Oh, you did? I didn't see that. That's adorable. What a great band. Seriously one to watch. Yeah. Tallulah. Mm-hmm. Tell me about how you picked the next track. Tell all of us.
Tell everyone
who's listening.
I'm really embarrassed to say that this is actually just another Spotify threw it into my mixer. I don't know if it was actually this specific track that
can't you just lie about it and come up with a different
story?
Can't you just make up a story for the wonderful listeners of Whoosh?
Okay.
For whom it just came up on my Spotify playlist. It was not enough.
Well, I'm trying to think of another interesting way.
Well, while you're thinking about it, I'll introduce the next song, shall I? Next song is by Luke Temple. He's a hard-working hand, and that is the title of the next song.
Got my head on a dip on the number 4. Probably give my seat to the lady, but I probably needed more. Millionaire dust in my eye. Oh, I wanna say bye, 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 bye. I'm a hard working man. I'm a hard-working hand. I get a little bit of something, most go straight to command. 'Cause I'm a hard-working hand. Yeah. Every second man was no paradise. Say don't seem happy just to pick up. I'm not so happy, I've got to give myself up. I'm a hard-working man. Yes, I'm a hard-working man. Yes, I get a little something, goes straight to command. 'Cause I'm a hard-working man. Whoa, it's not easy. 6 in the morning, babe, dead of winter. Gotta bite the bullet if you're gonna survive. If you're gonna survive, gotta bite the bullet if you're gonna survive. If you're gonna survive.
My beloved Barrio, my ghetto. This is a story of where I was born. No man's land between 115th Street and 125th. Everyone today is talking about El Barrio or their ghettos, about the hard times they had. We had hard times, but we had good times too. I can remember the summer. Summertime was beautiful. The days were long. We didn't need any ocean breeze. To the left, we had the Hudson River. To the right, the East River. When we wanted to refresh ourselves, who needed the ocean? We had the pump. You remember the Johnny pump? All we needed was a good screwdriver and a can, and we were refreshed. At night, the breeze was beautiful. Tar Beach, that was our meeting place. And we had fun galore. When I went home, my mother was beautiful. Our food was really together. Rice and beans, that's our soul food, with a little cuchi fritos on the side. And for a little dessert, we had Mavi, the grooviest tasting drink you want to try. Everything was beautiful to me. My querido, my beautiful barrio, my ghetto.
But I feel it in another way.
Do you feel it?
I feel the pressure that keeps us down.
Do you feel it?
Yes, I feel it, baby, but I feel it in another way.
Do you feel it?
El Barrio is a place that's uptown.
Do you feel it?
I feel all the fear and the hate.
Do you feel it?
That's where fear and hate is commonplace. I said it, telling you about being hungry. Uptown, that's the place that's poverty abounds. I used to love it there, the place where I was born. But somewhere there's a better place. When I find it, I'll be gone, 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 gone. I feel it in my bones. Gonna search for another home. Said I feel it in my
listening to Whoosh with Simon Le Bon and Katy Krassner.
Hi, you're listening to Whoosh, the channel which tries to play music that you haven't heard anywhere else. That was Tu Lo Sientes by the Cuba Sextet with Celia Cruz and possibly Johnny Pacheco.
Possibly. I don't have any good information on this track, to be honest, because we won't get into it, but somebody with the initials SLB might have given me the wrong artist for this track.
Saffron Le Bon gave you the wrong information?
I think... Yes, it's Saffron's fault.
I'm going to give her a hard time about that. I got to tell you.
It's Saffron's fault. But I did learn a lot about Celia and how she immigrated to America from Cuba, which I thought was super amazing. I don't know. I've never thought of it. There was white music, there was black music, and there was Latino music. And she and Johnny Pacheco really became the leaders of that Latin movement. And I found that to be very interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not sure she's on that track.
She's probably not even on the track, but
this is very interesting what you're talking about. This touches on a subject that we were this illustrates the idea of what the internet has done for people who listen to music. You're talking about a time when people either listen to black music or white music or Latino music. Here we are with a station that plays black music, white music, brown music, Hispanic music. We haven't played any classical yet, but I tell you what, the day will come.
I would like that. The day will come. Maybe even a little jazz. I like jazz.
I love jazz.
I just winced when you said that.
You don't like jazz?
That's putting jazz on this.
I did not.
You did. I actually brought in a great song of...
I'll be honest with you, it was too jazzy.
Did you do jazz hands?
I just said, Tallulah, too jazzy.
There's no such thing.
Did he whisper it just like that? Too jazzy.
No, I just went, too jazzy.
I think we had a 5-minute argument about it, and then I finally went, fine.
Even though it's not.
We won't have it.
It's not too jazzy. I have a question, or Kevin. So last week, Kevin asked a question.
Oh, right. Does he get the question 2 weeks in a row, does he, Kevin?
Well, I'll tell you why.
What's so special about Kevin?
That Katy made a boo-boo. Because I read the question as, did you know that your first album was sort of dangerous? Don't you remember? I asked that question, and you asked me what my favorite track was.
What if you swallow it, it's dangerous.
What?
Or if you stick it to the bottom of your shoes and try to go skiing, it's dangerous.
It is. But what he really asked is about Big Thing. I don't know how I misread it, but he wanted to know, he thought that Big Thing was such a departure from your previous albums that when you went into the studio for Big Thing, did you know that you'd be making a totally different kind of Duran Duran album? So I'm at fault. I asked the question incorrectly, so I thought I'd give Kevin another go.
Yeah, well, yes, Kevin. So you're the special Kevin, are you? The one who gets 2 questions 1 week, and then the next week you get another question. Well, I gotta tell you, Kevin, about this album, Big Thing. And it's Big Thing, by the way. Yeah, Big Thing. Well, you knew it was gonna be different. We just didn't know how different it was gonna be. So next time you ask us a question, you think you're gonna get your third question, just remember, Kevin, you don't want to be wearing cement overshoes.
Great.
And it was too jazzy.
This is what I have to live with. The Godfather.
Too jazzy.
Tell me, Tallulah, because this seemed like such a Tallulah song, Lemon Glow by BJ. Let's hear it.
Did you say Leonard Cohen?
No, I said Lemon Glow.
He was Jewish, you know.
Yeah, I know, and jazzy. Sorry.
Just start play, will you? Just press play. That was Lemon Glow by Beach House. I chose that.
I chose that.
For a little while. Wanna tell you about an old man I know. He was cool, he was fast. He had a game that couldn't last. Talking about Superfly was cool. My name and I felt so good it was a doggone shame. Then the weather changed people got cold. The old man, he just took his time and be slow. Then I heard him say, "Hey, won't you blow your horn? It feels so good. Feel in the morning. Leave me alone. Said, won't you call my name? I feel so good. Said it's a doggone shame. Nah, nah, nah. Hey, hey, hey. I've been loving you. I've been loving you. I've been needing you. I've been needing you. You see, I've been down. When I didn't have a dime, but the old man, he helped me out. He said, "Son, don't waste your time, man." And then I heard him say, "Get your gun. Don't try to mess around. Take your thing and blow." I've been getting down for years, and I know that a no good woman, she can't tell you so. Feel alright, feel mighty good tonight. If it wasn't for you, been by the Sunday school. Oh Lord, can you? Hey, hey, hey. Been good to you. I've been good to you, babe. I've been nice to you. I've been good to you. Yeah, I feel like I can rock all night long. I feel like I can sing for so long. Oh, babe, sing, babe. And I feel good. I feel alright. Oh, baby. Loving you, loving you. Loving you, loving you. Loving you, loving you. Yeah, babe.
That was The Wolf by Darondo.
I get a lot of Al Green. I think I hear a lot of Al Green's singing style and intonation, but that is a fantastic track. Really great. Well chosen, Simon. Moving right along here.
Moving right along, I just want to say about Darondo, you silly gooses, that he received renewed attention due to
like it's geese.
Oh, silly gooses. Someone take that mic away from him today. Giles Peterson was a BBC One radio guy, DJ, and he played the single "Didn't I," which came out in 1973 by Darondo, and it sort of started this whole renewed appreciation of the guy. I think he's passed on. I hope I'm not wrong about that. I'm pretty sure he has, though. And anyway, well,
music lives on.
His music, yeah. I have another round of sad news. Are you ready?
Go on in.
I want to share it. We're at the end of the show.
Okay. Oh, no.
This is he did pass away, Darondo. Okay, I didn't want to make that mistake. We're at the end of another episode, and it flew by because Tallulah was with us.
And she's fabulous.
And she's fantastic.
And she doesn't say much, and she keeps pressing play.
I love her. She says plenty. So the last song, I guess I'll leave to Tallulah because she chose it probably.
Chose this.
Did she choose it?
I like it a lot, and it's you know, it's this. I know who this band are, and I hadn't played them for a long time, and Tallulah actually brought them back into my sphere of attention.
So here's why I thought Dad had chose it. Graham Coxon, that guy who works with Duran Duran right now, said that his introduction to bands such as Fugazi were so musically significant to him. So I thought, oh, for sure Simon chose this song. But I was wrong. Tallulah, were they a band you listened to early on in your musical listening career, or no, you've just recently?
I think it's quite recent. Past couple of years, I suppose. And I think this is just my favourite Fugazi song. There's for anyone who's listening who hasn't listened to them before, really go into the back catalogue. Go deep.
No, they're great. They hold a special place for me because I think when I was in high school all those years ago, Fugazi were like super cool, and they played in New York City, and I wasn't allowed to go. My parents wouldn't have let me go. So I always thought I held them in very high esteem. You know, they were too cool for me. So I was excited to see them on this playlist. And then we have a bonus track.
We have a bonus track, but we're not going to tell you about it until next week, unless you want to hear about it now. I don't mind. So I would like to say thank you very much to our special guest, Tallulah LeBon, for making it a wonderful show. We're going to play out with Fugazi and Waiting Room. After that, you're going to hear another track by Weyes Blood called Movies. See you next week.